Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today let's learn users and groups in Linux. Linux is a multi-user and a multi-group operating system, meaning that it supports many users and many groups simultaneously. So different users and groups can use the system simultaneously and at the same time. So we have different type of user in Linux. The first one is called root user or super user. This user can do anything in system, whatever he or she wants. For example, you can modify, you can add, you can delete the system configurations without any restriction. This is called root user. We also have another type of user, which is called regular user. This user has some restrictions. For example, he or she cannot do anything, whatever he or she wants. This user has limited access to the system. This is called regular user. And the third one is called system user. The system user is used for the system services, for example, HTTPD, daemon, and so on. Okay, right now we understood different types of users in Linux, and we have to understand their file path. For example, in this path /etc/pastwd, all the users are stored in this file. For example, when you create your users, it stores in these files and in this path. And I will teach you, I will show you. For example, let's log into the system. Right now I am in root user. Let's switch to this directory /etc. You can see we have many files and directory here, and I want to, yes, in this file, ltr, okay. You can see we have different types of files here. What I'm looking for is for user file, this one. In this file, all users are stored in these files. So let's read the content of file pastwd. You can see we have all users which are stored in this file. We have different columns, we have different rows. Each rows demonstrate specific users, for example, root user. And root user has different column, and each column has some meaning. For example, this is the name of the user, root, and the X, this is related to the password of the users. Okay, this ID is a user ID, and this ID is group ID. Okay, the root, this one is the comment. Whenever you create a user, you can add comment. Okay, this one is the home directory, and this one /bin/bash, this is the shell. Okay. Right now, if I want to only list only users, I use this command, delimiter. I only need the first column, which are related to the user pastwd. Okay. You can see I have these users in my system: bin, daemon, adm, and we have Hadoop, we have Spark, we have Kafka. Okay. And also all the information related to groups are stored in this file /etc/group. So let's see, right now we are in etc, okay, cat group. You can see we have these groups in our system. Let me display only the group name. You can see we have root, we have Ben, we have daemon, sys, adm, tty, we have Hadoop, we have Spark, we have Kafka, we have Apache. Just keep in mind that whenever you create user, the same group name is created. The same group is created simultaneously. And I will show you how, okay? The third file is related to the password. This is called shadow. So let me display this. I want to clear the screen and cat shadow. You can see these informations are related to the system password, and in future lesson we will understand all of them and what does this mean and how to create password for each user and so on. Okay, right now we understood different types of users and their relevant path. Now let's understand how to add user, how to assign user ID, group ID, and how to add comments and how to delete a user and so on. Okay. Now I have these users, pass the value D. For example, I have these users. These are normal user. Normal user, the bin bash. The bin bash, this is related to the shell scripting. While whenever you see this, for example, null login, SBN null login, it indicates that this user is the system user. Okay. So right now I want to add some users. Let me remove the user that I have created. User del Kafka, user del Spark, user del Hadoop. I will create them again. Okay, user del Apache. Okay, right now if I want to add or create user, how can I do that? This is really simple. You use user add command, okay, command, then the name of the user, for example Hadoop. Okay, it says that it has been already added, the path already existed. Let me add another user, for example okay, let me add user add twice. Okay, I added user twice, and let me add another user, for example twice data, and also let me, okay, only these two. Let's see if this user have been added. Has the value D. You can see user twice has been added, and also the data has been added too. Okay. Now I want to add another user. For example, when you add user and if you don't specify the user ID and group ID, the system by default system assigns user ID and group ID. So if you want to specify the user ID and the group ID, you can do this. For example, let me add another user. user at, for example, Amin. Okay, let me delete twice. Okay, now I want to user at Amin, user ID 1000 for Amin. Now I defined or specified the user ID, so let me check that. TC past WD, you can see the user Amin has been created with 1004 user ID and 1004 group ID. Now if I want to add another user, for example user at, let me specify user ID 1005, for example Henry. Okay, now if I want to check that, you can see user Henry and Amin have been created. Okay, if I want to delete the user, you can use user del, for example Amin, user del Amin has been deleted. See, Amin has been deleted. This is how you can add users. You can specify, for example, group ID, and you can specify user ID. Okay, let me add another user, for example user at John. Okay, user at John. So how do you set password for this user John? This is really simple. You can write past WD and name of the user John 123 123. Okay, has WD Henry 321 321. Okay, so how do you switch from one user to another user? This is really simple. Switch user and name of the user, for example John. You can see right now I log in as a John user. Who am I? I am John. For example, I want to log into user Henry 321. Right now, who am I? You can see I log in as Henry. Please keep in mind that when you switch from this user to the normal user, it doesn't ask you for the password. But if you want to switch from normal user to another normal user, it asks you password. Enter the password. Okay, I have to again log into the root user 321 exit. Okay, right now I am in root user. Okay, now how to add a group. By simply typing group add and name of group to is. Okay, now if I want to check this group, you you can see 2is has been added. In this group it doesn't have any members. So right now, how can I put a user into a group? This is really simple. User mode, then name of the group 2is, then you put your name, username. Okay, with this command, user mode means user modification, add to a group, name of the group, this user, you add this user to this group. Okay, with this command. Right now, if I want to check my group, you can see this group has this number, this member, for example Henry. If I want to add John as well, John, you can see in this group John and Henry have been added. This is really simple and straightforward. So how do you remove a group? This is really simple. Group del and name of the group 2is. Right now, if I want to check that 2is group does not exist anymore. There is also another command. For example, you can't check all details related to specific users. You can use ID and name of the user. For example, John. You can see user John has this ID, user ID 1006, and the group ID 1006, and this is the group which John belongs to. Okay, for example, if I add another group add 2is, let me put John in this group. Right now, if I want to check, you can see the user John. Right now, this is part of group 2is. Okay guys, that's all for the user and group in Linux system. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribe to my channel and have a good day. Bye.